Hi, welcome to the award-winning Ed Brown Show. And once again, outstanding guests. And you know, we talk about, you see, sports, and we got outstanding track club here in Prince George's County. They went to the Junior Olympics out of California, and they're going to the Junior Olympics down in Atlanta, Georgia. That's top stuff. But anyway, they can't do very well with our good coaches. And we have one of the young men here. I have to beat him off the show, you know, but Larry Colbert, he's a coach there at Bowie State also. So, and then we have Phil Barrett. And see, without this coaching staff, this team, I noticed, I walked out there and I see how they get the kids there together and make sure that they're doing the proper thing at the proper time. Very organized. Hey, Larry, welcome back to the show.
Again.
I'll start charging you, man.
I know you're charging, Mr. Brown. Hey, I'm willing to pay, too, because you'd be surprised, not surprised, but what you do for this program and other programs, and also for the kids that's in this metropolitan
That's the key.
area.
The children are the key.
Right.
I could do without you, man.
I know you can.
But the kids.
Don't even look at me. Don't even count me.
Right.
As long as you count the kids, that's all what it
That's what matters. That's what I try to
yes.
convey to people.
Yes.
The future, the young people are the future.
They're
you
the
know
future
what I mean?
of
Hey, didn't any of us make it by ourselves? No, nobody.
No.
You know what I mean?
That's right.
No, you're right about that, Mr. Brown.
All right, Phil Barrett. Now, you out there hustling and everything. Tell us, how do you get these young men and ladies and women, how do you get them to work with you? See, you have assistants too. See, you guys, I see them out there.
Right.
And what I want to do to make sure that people understand, I want to honor the volunteers. The volunteers for this club are outstanding. They're cooking, they're doing everything. They couldn't have a meet without the volunteers. And I want to personally thank all the volunteers for all of these organizations that take the time, and that's what we need. Okay, Larry, tell us about what's going on down in Atlanta, Georgia.
Well, right now we're getting ready to go to our regional championship. And the regional, there's 16 regionals in the United States, and we're in Regional 3. And Regional 3 is consisting of Maryland, D.C., Virginia, North Carolina, South Carolina, and Georgia. So that's what we prepared our youngsters today to go for, to go to the regional. And hopefully, Mr. Barrett can tell you a little more than I can tell you how many kids has qualified to go there.
Okay,
Yeah. We
Phil,
have 100.
give us an idea.
143 individuals and 44 relay teams that have qualified to go to
104. How many clubs that represent?
No, that's the Glenarden track club alone.
That's just Glenarden alone.
Yes,
Oh, wow. Well, how many clubs are generally represented down there?
From this area, from our association championships, we probably have in the neighborhood of probably about 50 teams.
50 teams?
And,
wow.
and then, you know, from the kids, the top 5 from this area will then qualify to go to the association.
Well, what about down in Atlanta? How many are you going to have competing?
Now, when we go in Atlanta, you'll take whatever representatives that we have from the 40 or 50 teams from this area, and then they'll meet up with the other teams from Georgia, South Carolina, and the rest. So you're talking about probably in the neighborhood of 100 plus, maybe 120, 130 plus teams.
That are really competing now.
Right.
Okay, give us some history of the Glenarden squad in these meets, these Junior Olympic meets.
Well, I've been with the club now for 25 years. My daughter first started running when she was 9 years old, and kind of got around and got in the way. So rather than Larry and company let me keep getting in the way, they put me to work.
Well, you have to watch Larry. He'll put you to work, boy, because he works himself. He'll get the broom. Whatever needs to be done, Larry will do it.
Yeah, you're exactly right. So, you know, and I started coaching probably a couple of years after my daughter has been there. And we've, you know, traveled across the country a couple different times and given these kids an opportunity to go to the Junior Olympics. We still have, from 1994, we have a group of 11, 12-year-old boys that still hold a national record in the
right?
4x1 and the 4x4 relay that's been in effect since 1994.
National record?
National record. It's
Since
still,
when?
Since 1994.
94.
Right.
Held right here in Glenarden, Maryland.
And that particular group of young men, they won 5 national championships by themselves. So
Is that right?
One individual won the 100, another one won the 200, another individual won the open 400, and then they set 2 national records in the relays. So, you know, we've had champions, but to go and have one age group to do 5 national championships by itself was really an outstanding accomplishment.
That's what that
Yes,
is.
it was.
That is fantastic.
Yes, it was.
Really.
So,
and before I forget it, I want to make sure that I make a point of the parents' participation. I talked about the volunteers,
Right.
but the parents, the meets that I've been out to, the parents are there, especially the men. You know, the men take a rap, you know, not, you know, coming out.
Right.
But the men in your organization, they really participate. They're out there, they're interested, and you're showing an excellent example of what we need to do as far as getting involved with our youngsters.
And you're exactly right, Ed. And you know, our motto is keeping youth on the right track.
Yes.
And we get our Parent Booster Club, as you talked about earlier. They buy into it. The parents come in and volunteer and do stuff. And with 200 plus athletes, it's no way that the coaches can do the things that we do without having that support. And they enable us to be able to do that and let them worry about the stuff that's going on around there, and then we can concentrate on the kids and training them and what they need to do on the track. So it's, as they say, it takes a family to raise a child, and that's the philosophy that we use to go from there.
With the volunteers, the parents, and the coaches.
Right.
That's true.
And like with the championships that you've won and everything, participation, we're very proud of the Glenarden Track Club and the other track clubs in the area. Whether they are in Glenarden or not, we still feel that the idea is that Glenarden has set a terrific example of the type, and from what I hear, everybody's standing in line to get on the Glenarden team. You know what I mean? Yeah. Because of the organization that you have there. This is what we need. And tell me, Coach Phil, tell me something. How do you get the attention of these youngsters as they're very aged? I see little teeny-weenies, what is it, 8
and under? Yeah,
8 and under.
That's right.
They're out there, and I mean, the parents are so involved in it. They're screaming, they're yelling, they're doing flips and everything. When it's time for that 100, and when they're 8 and under. Now, how do you get the concentration?
Well, you know, Ed,
the youngsters to concentrate.
I have probably about 2 minutes to get my point across. That's about the attention span that you get for them to try to get them to take and do something. So what I do most of the time when I talk to them, I'm down on the knee so that we face to face and go through what needs to be done, give some examples of what needs to be done. And each year we've been fortunate to have some returning athletes who've already been through the process, so we use them and put them in a role of leaders to show the other ones, the younger ones, what to do.
I see.
So from the time
peer pressure.
There you go. There you go.
And all of us react to that, no matter what age. Peer pressure.
Right. So and it's that, and basically the younger kids we train with the 9, 10-year-olds, so they have another age group to take and emulate while they're doing the exercises or the drills or whatever that we do. And when we train on the track, we tell them what lanes we're going to run in, lanes 3 and 4. So early on, they start learning that that's where they need to be and what needs to be done. And it's a lot of repetition, a lot of repetition and drills, just doing a lot of different things over and over so that they can understand that these are the things that needs to be done. And you'd be amazed from the beginning of the season till now, and we're just starting to peak to get ready to go to our championship events, how much growth that you can see in them. You know.
Well, Coach Larry, tell me, you're with Bowie State now,
right?
And so actually these track clubs here in Prince George's County, they are a breathing ground for them coming go to Bowie State. What are you seeing that?
Well, right now, you know, it's a great thing that we have this facility, number one, to train on at the Sports and Learning Complex. And like you're saying, it can be a feeder program to not only just Bowie State University, but all the universities within this metropolitan area. And you find a lot of coaches comes out just to see what these youngsters are doing. Because it's just like a guy told me something years ago. That's when we were supposed to be the Sports and Learning Complex. That was a guy named, I can't see, I wasn't talking about names. But anyhow, he was the lobbyist for Jack Kent Cook. And when I met...
Was it Singleton or was it Marvin Wilson?
Well, Marvin Wilson was one along with us.
Yes, right.
But he said something, we watch you guys, see, because we feed off of you. They feed off of us. And at one point, he said I couldn't get his drift where he was coming from. But what he was saying, that he watches these kids when we bring them up ladder like Mr. Fields. Coach Fields started the little ones, then they go into another age group, another age group. So they're well prepared when they leave that 8 and under and go to 9 and 10, 11 and 12. So they're well polished. So what the general was saying, he watch us as the kids come along, and then he said by feeding off us when they get into college, that's when he take over. He draft this one, I want this one, that one. And that was John Cook.
And one thing that teaches the youngsters, too, is discipline. The track, you know, is certain procedures that you have to follow. And at that, when they get into the disciplined environment, you know, the earlier the better. You know,
Exactly.
If they're 2 years old, if you discipline them, it's fine. But really, that environment is so very important.
It is.
And that the youngsters, they see that they have to be competitive. And in order to be competitive, you have to practice.
That's true.
You know, which a lot of us don't like to practice. We want to play, but we don't want to practice.
Instant gratification.
Right. So those are things that we, and what I want to do is just say that the Sports and Learning Center, the program and everything was a dynamic process, and that former Councilman Marvin Wilson and his aide, Eugene Singleton, they did a beautiful job. And what we want to do, and we asking all the people out there, we want to improve that track facility. We want to have stands on the other side of it.
Thank you.
And what else do you think that we need to make that? It's number one now, but we want to make sure it stays that way.
Well, right now, Mr. Brown, they are, matter of fact, the different contractors was out there yesterday trying to bid on getting an AstroTurf football field put out there. So along with bringing the AstroTurf football field, we're starting on probably end of this year. We got one more game to play. That's Saturday.
All right. So the AstroTurf, we got to wrap it up now. But the AstroTurf and what I was saying too, I think they should, the community should get behind the county council or the county exec or the governor and make sure what they do to make that a really complete facility by having stands on both sides. Then they can make economics. Then they can make money. They can have championship because they have a home and a visitors team. Okay, this has been Ed Brown. Be back in a minute. Got another outstanding guest. Hi. Welcome back to the Ed Brown Show, the award-winning Ed Brown Show. And what we have here in this second half here, we had moms. Moms are the most important person in the world. I think a lot of men will say that too. A lot of males will say that. But today we have Sylvia Taylor from Social Science Services, and she's going to talk about moms mentoring moms. Now, hey, that's a deep, tough subject there, because the moms are, you know, they're into everything.
Yes.
Now tell us, how did you get involved with moms mentoring moms then?
Well, in 2005, I was talking to Dr. Dozier and began to talk about moms. And actually, it is a passion of moms. It's a passion of mine.